So sorry, but I'm not taking off my glass.
Lockyer takes a shot. It's low. He's got it. I think he's got it.
Merlin, are you going to speak?
But for me, it was a winner. David.
Well, I'm afraid it wasn't for me, Margaret.
Thank God you're here. Grandma's been raped.
On. Welcome back to On the Air Tonight, the hay feveriest podcast that reviews free-to-air content. This week, I'm Mr. Sneeze.
And I'm just sick of Tom.
We've both got our respective illnesses. None are to be taken more seriously than the other.
No, not at all. It's a very serious condition.
Both should be treated with immediate care.
Yours,
medical attention.
Seasonal, tend to sneeze. I'd say it's a sign of Charles Darwinism.
Well, I'd call it pollen in the air.
Yep. So inferior immune system.
Okay. What's yours?
I'm just off you.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people, that's contagious this year.
Is it?
Yeah.
This has not been your year.
this time of year, everyone starts getting a bit of off-Tomism.
Why is that? What have you done?
A lot of exposure over the New Year's. A lot of socializing.
Ah.
A lot of whoa. That's enough of that guy.
Okay, maybe take a step back. I'm in Tom lockdown.
It starts with your friends, and then it goes to your family, and ultimately ends with your father.
Who is your family?
Yeah.
Starts with family, goes to your friends, back to your family, takes a little U-turn, and then Bob's your uncle. Everyone hates you.
Bob's your uncle, including your uncle. He hates you.
Do you have an Uncle Bob?
No.
Not anymore. He hated you too much.
Yeah.
Just couldn't take this life.
I did, and he's gone. But outside of that, how's life?
Mate, life's good.
Yeah?
Life's been pretty good. We I had an interesting weekend. I went to the Bucks of one Mr. Jared Rogers. Congratulations, Jared, in your pending
Marriage?
Commemoration of Ball and Chain. He literally, we had a pub crawl as part of it on Sunday where everyone dressed up as dads. So think dirty lows, Hawaiian shirts, visors, long like shin basher jean shorts, socks and sandals.
Yeah.
And of course the buck to be was wearing, he had like a fake like ball and chain around his ankle.
Okay. And with the baby strapped to the chest as well?
Yeah, so that was one Harrison.
I thought that was the main man.
Yeah, that was him who no, it was Harrison who got like a fake baby strap, like a baby Bjorn. I don't know if you call it baby carrier, like a chest carrier.
Yeah.
Great addition to the dad uniform.
Yeah, the costume.
The organizer of the Bucks weekend, Reese, I think he took it out of the park that he had like almost like a Batman utility belt of like dad accessories. So he had like this like Bunnings, like it looked like a giant stubby cooler, but it was like a thing for your belt that you can put your keys and stuff in, like a big Bunnings cup. He had like a little like Hawthorne like Hawks radio. He was playing like AM/FM radio that he just had strapped to his belt.
And it worked.
Yeah.
It was operating.
He had a phone on his belt, and then he had like a ticket officer's like notepad and pen like leather holster.
Yeah.
So
real nerd dad shit.
Really just like peaked. Oh, he had a tape measure as well.
He had a tape measure.
Yeah.
Okay. Any like, because that's all kind of around the house stuff. Any like baby related father things, or are we going with the absentee father stereotype?
No, it was more like dad on holiday.
Yeah,
that was his that was his dress up anyway. Mine was.
Well, you choose the type of dad that you're going to dress up as.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct. So someone literally went as a dad. They had, as I said, the baby strapped to their chest.
That's that type of dad. You can't have the baby strapped to your chest and a hammer and drill hanging off the side of you.
That'd just be irresponsible, whether the baby's plastic or not.
Yeah. Pick a day. Are you on kid duties, or are you in the shed?
Yeah.
Cleaning the garage, or are you changing diapers?
You being a dad, or you being a dad?
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah. What did you end up wearing? Was it just pretty basic stuff?
No, I had a half decent outfit. I had beer socks, some Kmart sandals, just some shorts, and then I had a shirt that said Super Dad on it.
Okay, good.
And some Speed Dealer sunnies and a bum bag.
Okay, good.
Bum bag's a good one.
Bum bag is a good one. Did you put things in it? Use
Yes,
it? Yeah.
two vapes.
Okay.
I literally just would like it was like had a gun holster. I just pull them out, like flick them around my fingers, and then just suck on both, and then holster them again.
Yeah. Yeah. Hot. That would have gone down well at the strippers.
Yeah, didn't. Yeah, so that was the night before. So the Bucks we did end up going to a gentleman's club, and then the next day we had the pub crawl. But there was no bum bags, fanny packs, utility belts, tape measures, or plastic baby carriers at the strip club.
Do you think, how would you get on wearing costumes at a strip club? Do you get in? Do you get kicked out?
Oh, I mean, like you're a paying customer.
Yeah, so like you're going to get a lap dance with a bum bag strapped to your crotch?
I suppose it depends on like what your costume is. If you come in dressed as a stripper, probably not, because they probably think you're taking the piss.
Yeah, we don't want to insult their profession to their face.
Correct.
Yeah.
If you come in dressed as a pimp, watch your P's and Q's.
Yeah.
Don't go like giving anyone the fucking Zverev or the Medvedev special, the backhand.
Well, it's risky business that you don't really want to, you don't want to tread in that water if you don't have to. Like, why would you bring that problem upon yourself? Unless you're just an ultimate shit stirrer.
Yeah.
And you need to antagonize people to get off, and then you combine the antagonism with a striptease, and then you ejaculate.
That's one way
If
of
that's
going.
what you need to do to get off, then that might be a reason.
You
to
know
do
what?
that.
You know what? Each to their own. Each to their own.
own.
But I hadn't been
I'm
in
not
it.
a kink shamer.
Hadn't been to a strip club in probably close to 10 years.
10 years since you've been to a strip club?
Oh, like 9.
What about the last bucks you went? Oh, you didn't do a strip club for your recent bucks.
We got topless waitresses for the last Bucks I went to. But
Okay. How was it? How was returning to the strip club after 10 years?
it was fine. Like I think I was just going in with a mood like I can't afford a lap dance. It's a week out from payday.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be able to afford a lap dance. So I'm just going to be as polite and
Yeah.
friendly as possible.
That's a good feeling to go in with, knowing like they can't rob me because there's nothing to rob.
Correct.
Yeah.
There was a girl that I actually knew through like band management. She's a lead singer for a band that supported Ash Groove.
Yeah.
So she was working there that night.
She was dancing.
She was dancing.
Yeah, wow.
So I was like cheering her. I was like, "You like
Yeah.
go fucking
Sing us a song.
yeah, do a dance." Oh, you are dancing.
Guys, she's multi-talented.
And
she doesn't just strip.
So one of the
Wouldn't believe the voice on her.
Sorry, that's all right. One of the girls at the other table, I'm assuming working there. Based on her attire, she like leaned over and she's like,
yeah, you'd assume so.
she's like, you know, you can pay them.
Oh, fuck.
And I just went, sweetheart, I got no money.
You know you can pay them. You know I can't.
I'm literally poor right now. Like, you can't think of a worse turn off professionally as a stripper than a bloke going, "You're doing well, love. Can't pay you, but fucking I'll clap you on." I was like a proud father. I was like, you go.
Yeah. Pay the bills, darling.
Yeah.
She's like, that doesn't pay the bills. Your applause.
But yeah, interesting night. One of the guys ended up going home with one of the ladies of the club.
Oh, good on him.
Another bloke.
Good consensual fun.
Another bloke. I'm not going to name names because they might get into trouble. Another bloke probably spent $300 to $400 with one woman. And completely denied falling in love with her. It's like, you know what, mate? We've all fallen for a stripper. I did it when I was 18, not when I was 28. But you know what? More power to you.
Yeah. And I mean, does he claim that he didn't fall in love with her, or he claims he doesn't remember any part of it?
At first, he says he blacked out. But then the next morning when we were talking to him about it, it's like, yeah, you gave the stripper this much money and you're obsessed with her. He's like, that definitely didn't happen. Definitely didn't happen.
You weren't blacked out. You were love struck. You were hit over the head by Cupid. Got you right between the eyes with a little arrow.
Exactly. Cupid just turkey slapped you last night, mate.
Yeah. And I don't remember. Cupid hit me too hard.
All the boys were looking for love in the casino at that point, and you were still stuck at OMFG,
following Pepe Le Pew and like a fucking nose in the air floating through the club.
Towards the hot pie on the windowsill. Just
But it's a different thing that he's floating towards.
yeah.
Well, I hope he found who he was looking for in the end.
You know what? I think he's back home, so I don't think he definitely didn't. Reality hit that man like a cold fish in a fisherman's friend ad.
Yeah, we've had our lawyers look over this whole segment to just so we're not this is all carefully worded.
We're not doxing anyone.
We're not doxing anyone. All our mates have approved, and the lawyers have fine-tooth combed this. Well, your weekend sounds a lot more eventful.
Way cooler.
Way cooler.
I mean, that's just the status quo, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the people come in here and they go, what has Jake been up to? They don't ask, what has Tom been up to?
I've been described as a neat guy.
You're a neat dude.
And not in like a tidy way. I'm very unhygienic. I'm just a neat gentleman.
Was that by one of the strippers the other night?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
She didn't say that in so many words, more just, oh my God, this guy smells like propane gas.
Yeah, this guy's neat.
Get it. It was just 3 words. Get him out.
Get him out.
Get it out of here.
Yeah, get him out neat.
Yeah.
Emphasis on the T. Neat. This isn't an amazing story, but I thought, hey, in the interest of padding, in the interest of
Some stat padding.
in the interest of, we watched an episode of television tonight that there's not a whole lot to say about. I thought I'd bring it up. I, as you know, got back from Melbourne last weekend.
You did.
And when I got back, I was exhausted. I got home at about 8:45 from the airport, and I'd just been, ripping in for a good 3 days and bit burnt toast. So I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm not cooking dinner, but I am. If I could have gone to sleep without dinner, I would have, but I was too hungry.
Sure.
So I was like, cool, I'll go to my local Thai restaurant in New Farm. Shout out Chai Thai. They always do me good. $20 for a stir fry, and it does you 2 meals. So really $10 a meal.
Bargain.
Shout out to Chai Thai. If you don't shop there and you live in New Farm,
You're doing something wrong.
fix yourself.
Okay.
I did the normal thing. I Googled Chai Thai, called them and made an order. They're like, yep, perfect. You want this, you want that? Yep, see you soon. I was like, sweet. I head down to Chai Thai, and the normal girl's on, who I've seen a million times before, and she's like, and I'm like, oh, order for Tom? And she goes, order for Tom? We've got no order for Tom. I'm like, excuse me? I just placed an order for Tom. She's like, are you sure it was Chai Thai? I was like, yeah, Chai Thai.
You fucking telling me?
You don't think I know my New Farm Thai restaurants?
I'm fucking hungry and tired after 3 days of partying. I know what takeout I got, sweetheart.
There's no way I made a clerical error in this state. Look at me.
Yep.
And she's like, no, I didn't get one. I'm like, oh, well, that's strange. She's like, it's cool, we can make you one. I was like, yeah, okay. But at this point, it wasn't a speed bump that I needed in my night. Another 15 minutes waiting out the front of a Thai restaurant.
This is like 9:30.
Yeah, really getting on now to the point where I'm like, I could just pass out without food at this point. Anyway, I figured out the problem. My phone still thought I was in Melbourne, hadn't acclimatized to me being back in Brisbane. So when I Googled Chai Thai, called a Melbourne Chai Thai. And I was like, fuck. And I didn't pay over the phone for it. And a small red flag was raised when she asked me what size rice I wanted on the phone, because they don't normally do that at New Farm Chai Thai.
You know the details and how the conversation should go. It's a little red flag.
Yeah.
You usually give me sizing on rice.
You called it satay, not peanut stir fry. That's a little odd.
What's going on here?
We'll go with it. Maybe it's just my fatigue. And I didn't ask any questions. So then and the pricing was different as well. It was like $2 cheaper than normal. And I was
Hang on.
like,
Pricing's different. Ingredients are different. It's not in Brisbane. But Chai Thai is a pretty unique name. Surely they wouldn't have called themselves the same thing as the place in New Farm.
I'll roll the dice.
Go on.
I'll get down there and I'll roll the dice.
And you know what? Snake eyes.
Yeah. Came up stumped.
You somehow rolled a 0.
Yeah. Didn't know you could, but I did. And so I wait for my Brisbane Chai Thai. I get it, return to my place. And then I've got
missed calls.
Melbourne Chai Thai calling me. And I'm just such a coward. Just I didn't answer a single one. I was like,
just gave it to your housemate. Can you please answer?
I
I'm
was
scared.
like, just scream them. And then they called and they called and they called as I'm eating my Brisbane Chai Thai. And I'm like, haha, dude.
Panic eating, you eat all 2 meals in one. Just
Either way, it was too much to pick up the calls. I was like, no fucking way am I answering this in this state. I'm letting her just take that food home with her. But she did leave a voicemail in the end.
brilliant.
And I thought I'd play it for you guys. 'cause
Yeah,
I've still got
please.
it. So this is Melbourne Chai Thai getting in touch.
Hello, Tom. This is a call from Shanghai Restaurant. It's just a reminder that you have orders to be picked up. I hope that you did not forget that, or maybe you could bring us back so we can manage it. Thank you. Bye.
Oh.
Thank you.
Tom, you forgot your order? Or I hope you didn't forget your order.
I forgot my order.
Yeah, sorry, man. You're not getting a call back.
Yeah, you can call me every day for the rest of the year I went in.
That's like kitchen's closed.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to fucking go home, but I'm waiting here until 10 p.m. because it would have been 10 p.m. in Melbourne as well.
Yeah, it would have been 10 p.m. in Melbourne.
And just like, oh, I got to fucking wait around for this dickhead.
They probably only accepted the order, like, they would have accepted it begrudgingly. Like, all right, last one of the night. We'll wait around for this cunt. It's another $20 in the till. Yeah, okay, why not? And then he doesn't show up. Like, fuck, what a hated guy.
You can't go back to Melbourne now. They've got you flagged on flights.
Oh yeah, if I do, I'm not going back to Chai Tai or going to Chai Tai.
God no, you can't eat any form of Asian cuisine when you're in Melbourne again.
I'm on a blacklist.
2-part question,
Please.
First thing is, didn't look at the area code.
Any question you're going to ask me can be answered with, I was tired and hungover for 3 days worth of a hangover.
Okay, all right.
So yes, it was there. There was an 03. That number's from an 03. Didn't click. Did not click.
Yeah.
There was a lot of red flags. If I didn't click to a different price, a different fried rice size, and a different name,
location.
of the dish, like, I'm not going to click to an 03.
Saying that it's right near Flinders Station. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They built a Flinders in Brisbane, right near New Farm.
Hold on, this isn't called Chai Tai. It's called Flinders Street Thai Food.
This is called right next to the MCG Asian food.
Yeah, no, that didn't click. And I get to my Chai Tai. She's like, Chai Tai? I'm like, yeah, it was definitely Chai Tai.
I was a bit confused when I actually put directions on to get in the car and it said it was a 19-hour drive to pick up my food. It's weird.
Yeah. Weird there was AC/DC lane satay stir fry.
Oh God, I can't even remember the second part. Of the
Okay,
two-part question. That's how unimportant it
I was
was.
hanging out for it.
No, that's. I mean, a weird series of events. I wouldn't call it unfortunate. I would just call it a symptom of being exhausted.
Yeah. That's a product of fatigue right there.
100%.
It would have been a series of unfortunate events if I paid over the phone to Melbourne.
That would have sucked.
And if I'm sitting there paying for 2 meals.
I've done that before, not to the same extreme where I've ordered Uber Eats to a mate's address when I've been at home. And like I was
really annoying.
Oh, I was so off myself. I ordered it to Cal's place and I realized what it is. I was like, fuck's sake. And I called him up straight away. I was like, hey dude, just got Fritzenberger ordered to your place. I'm really angry at myself. Just enjoy it. Just eat it. I don't want it. And he's like, what'd you get? And I was like, I got like a burger and some dirty fries and some wings. He's like, that's like $50 of food. And I was like, yeah. And I only have $3 until payday. And he was just like, I'm driving it over. I was like, you're not fucking driving it over, mate. Like, just eat the food. Yeah. Let's be done with it. I feel like enough of an idiot as it is. And sure enough, he drove it over.
What a sweetheart.
What a sweetheart. But now he twists, and I don't care how much of an argument I'm going to get from this because he listens to the show, but he seems to think that I called him at like 8:30 on a Sunday night when it was still light out. It was like 5 o'clock in the evening on a Sunday.
Okay.
And he was like, I had to drive that food over to you like 9, man.
Okay.
And I was like, no, you didn't.
So he did a nice thing for you and now he holds it over your head and makes the time later and makes it sound worse.
It's not like he brings it up every time we see each other, but when it organically comes up, when it has maybe once or twice in the past 2 years since it happened, he'll be like, yeah, dude, I had to drive that over to you at like midnight. I'm like, no, you didn't. The sun was still out. He's like, yeah, it can still be sunlight at 9 o'clock. I'm like, not in Brisbane.
You know, all you have to do to settle that argument, to win that argument, is get up Fritzenberger closing times.
Oh, mate, I'm not going through my receipt.
Your receipts. No. Just Google Fritzenberger, when do you close?
Oh, yep.
And then if it's 8 p.m., it couldn't have possibly been any time after 9.
Well, this was like we were having this gentleman's debate, probably I'd say like 12:30 in the morning on like just a Friday night or Saturday morning, like just us having beers and we were just around the table just talking shit and talking nonsense. And he's like, that's it. I'm calling my girlfriend because she knows. And he like calls his miss, so Sarah. And he's like, oh, do you remember that time I had to fucking drive Poopy's food home to me? She was like, she just woke up. She was like, hello. And then it's like, oh, you remember I had to drive that food over to Jacob? She's like, what? What are you talking about? And then I clarified it with her a week later, and she's like, "Yeah, dude, it was like 4 or 5 in the afternoon."
Okay, what's Cal's deal there? How has he got that so wrong?
I don't know. I think I think it's only human that you like to embellish a story a little bit.
Bit of mayo on there.
Yeah, just a little bit of extra spice.
Yeah. He's cooped it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very much just Murdocked it, where he's just made a simple misdemeanor into a full-blown first-degree murder.
And one that you didn't ask for either.
No, but
You
like,
put your hands up and said, hey, have the food.
and it's one thing being a nice guy driving the food over. I owe him for that one. Still do. Don't go parading around like, yeah, dude, I was like a paramedic for you that night. Like you called me like emergency services and I drove over the food at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. It's like, no.
I saved you. You were broke. You were in the gutter, and I ran a care package out to you.
Yeah, look,
000, this is Cal. I've got your Fritzenberger and an injection of fucking dirty fries.
I'm just like having to go out with my tail between my legs, just like, thanks, man.
Thanks, I feel pathetic.
He's like, that's all right, man. I was like, do you want a chip? He's like, no, I'm going to bed. I was like, it's 6 o'clock in the evening, mate.
It's 12. I keep telling you.
I do run my clocks about 6 hours behind, so it might have been that.
I think we found the problem.
Basically, to cut a short story long and then back to short, you're only human. Mistakes are made, especially when it comes to when you're hungry.
Yeah, these things happen.
Amongst other states of
when
mind.
you're hungry and tired. I think there's an icebreaker ad about that, or dare. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers.
Hungry, thirsty. You're not you when you're hungry is Snickers, but then Oak is kill hungry, thirsty,
Kill
fast.
hungry, thirsty, fast. I meant Snickers. I think that's more applicable. You're not you when you're hungry.
No one gives a fuck about the Oak ads.
Can we make a mattress ad that is you're not you when you're tired?
That you probably get sued for that. You would 100% get sued.
You don't think that's different enough from you're not you when you're hungry?
You're not you when you're blank.
That's taken now, you reckon?
Mate,
Yeah.
what do you reckon?
I don't know. Let's get the lawyers onto it. We just had them in the room.
All right, well, OTAT's new tagline, welcome back to On The Air Tonight. You're not you when you're not listening to On The Air Tonight.
You're not you when you're not OTAT. And we're above the law on that one. The lawyers have looked over it.
Loophole, bitch.
Speaking of having people in the room that aren't actually here, that we joke about, a la Jamie, the producer, who is here. Don't get it twisted. He is here in the corner.
I've been around in a while.
He's here. I've woken up from my 4-hour nap. I thought I was a cadaver, but then Dan from Trademark woke me up.
Anyone seen my kidneys?
Obviously he's real, but my sister, side note, he's not real. Shout out Jordan, was chatting to her on the weekend, and
Jordan, your sister, not Jordan, our guest we just had on.
Shout out Jordan, my sister, very different person. She's been listening to the show, and she tried to call me out on failure to launch when we're doing our McConaughey bits.
Yep.
She was like, so she was wrong in two aspects here.
Wait, when we were doing our McConaughey bits, or when I told you failure to launch?
When we were doing the McConaughey bits.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we claimed that McConaughey was in a film called Failure to Launch, my sister, being the rom-com aficionado that she thinks she is, she was like, McConaughey's not even in Failure to Launch.
Who is it?
I was like, are you sure? She was like, yeah, he's absolutely not. And I didn't fight her on it because I was just like, I ran that bit without knowing. So I accepted it. And she's like, yeah, I thought your producer would have looked that over. I was like, who? She's like, like Jamie, your producer. I was like, okay.
Oh, so some people think he's real.
It astounds me sometimes that, I've had other people say to me oh yeah, and then you you just get $10 per view. I'm like, they're like, that's how you get paid for it, right? I'm like, you think we're getting paid?
Do you think people are paying for this quality of product?
What, is Spotify just gonna pay us for uploading
$10 a view?
You think $10 a view? So Rogan is just a trillionaire.
Just a squillionaire.
We'd be on close money to Rogan if we're getting $10 a view.
They just gave him the deed to the planet. Not enough money, man.
He's got 10 million views. Just fucking give him the key to the city.
Do you want to own an ocean? How does that sound? We can give you Atlantis.
Whatever you want, Joe.
El Dorado? It's all yours, Ben.
Sorry, you're cancelled, but you need to take it all back. We've torn up the contract.
Yeah, we don't give it to people who say the N-word.
No. Or spread misinformation. But I was just like, what about us makes you think we can afford a producer? You think this is a legitimate setup?
If we're going to have someone else on the show, it's got to be a passion project. The only time when money's involved is when we've got someone who's desperate to be on the show, like Jordan, and he pays us. Not so much pays us, but he kind of just begs.
Well, we pay him in work experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Education and enlightenment.
Could use an editor. That's getting a bit long in the tooth.
Editing. Yeah, when you got 2-hour episodes to record, mate. Yeah, and 2 camera angles. Good luck. This is going to be a short one.
Yeah, wouldn't mind someone to press the record button on the soundboard.
Yeah, I don't do a good job of that at all.
No, you need to be replaced by a real Jamie. So shout out Jordan for the most gullible, naive take of all time. Love you to bits.
Okay, well, Jamie is real.
Jamie is real.
So you were right, Jordan. That was just a joke before that we were saying.
It's opposite day. That's why that joke was funny on that day when you said it.
And I know I've said it already, but we do like to spice things up on this podcast. So throwing in a produce every now and again, or maybe throwing some literal but figurative spice at the same time. Maybe a little bit of smoked paprika.
Oh my God. Get me to the spice rack, Jacob Purrier, because I am ready for a PAPK review.
I'm ready for some infusion.
Of last week. Who's reading PAPK this week? Is that you?
I can. I think I read him last week.
I'll read out PAPK.
Okay, go for it.
Well, have you got a... Okay, I'll get it up. Bear with me.
So these are all comments that are left on our YouTube, on the videos that we put up on YouTube. If you'd like to be involved in the show, you can by either leaving a comment on our Instagram or on our YouTube channel.
Lance Farrelly says, no more talk about Kyrgios. Not convinced he's even Australian anyway.
All right. Although it's like, yeah, let's not talk about him anymore. But he's not from here.
He not convinced he's even Australian anyway. In brackets, Dawn Fraser. There's history there. Do your own research. Dawn Fraser doubted that Kyrgios was Australian.
Right.
It's a whole thing. So Dad hears the conservative, right-wing, borderline racist views of public figures and repeats them as his own.
Okay.
It's kind of his thing, I guess.
No, he's not from here. Neither are we, mate.
Dawn Fraser said it first.
Sorry, isn't your name part Australian, part Chinese, but you're from New Zealand?
I think you're a Kiwi, dude.
What's going on here?
That's the glass house over there.
Blurring lines, mate.
Ringing Jordan Liner is seriously funny.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. I almost didn't want to read this.
Yeah, he is good.
He spelt his name wrong, though. He spelt it like he spelled my sister's. Jordyn, the far more feminine version.
Okay.
We move on. Ringing Jordan Liner is seriously funny. And rugby union royalty, by the way. All Blacks were always afraid when Michael Liner played. Watched 4 episodes of Chad. Before I move on, I just want to touch on that as I go. You across Michael Liner?
I know who Michael Liner is. He's a Wallaby, like ex-Wallaby.
He's an ex-Wallaby. So Dad has known Jordan Liner for a long time, like the name thrown around, my father.
Yes.
And apparently he's been meaning to ask me for like 4 years. Is he related to Michael Liner, by the way? And I was like, I don't know who that is. Not a rugby union guy. So I messaged Jordan. I was like, hey, are you of Michael Liner kin? And he said, yeah, it's his dad's cousin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
I was
is.
just shaking my head the whole time like,
Yeah.
dude, Liner's a common surname.
It's not, though. How many Liner? Jordan reckons every Liner you see is a Liner.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
by that?
is related to another Liner.
Yeah.
Is that Jordan telling the truth?
Well, he has been known to bend the truth, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yes, snap it right in half.
Could be full of shit there. But he reckons it's his dad's cousin and he's met him a couple of times.
Oh, so Jordan's related to ex-Wallaby and rugby union great Michael
Yes.
Liner.
Yes.
Couldn't tell looking at him.
No, you wouldn't know it. But he I mean, I've known Jordan for a lot of years, so do you. Looking at him now, you wouldn't know he's light on his feet, but he can be quite light on his feet.
Oh, he's deft.
He's deaf.
He's not deaf. He can act deaf sometimes, but he has like, I've played soccer with him a few times, and he's got like a decent touch.
It is weird to see.
Good hand-eye coordination.
Yes. So he's got the Michael Liner, a bit of DNA has trickled down to him.
If you say so.
That's by the by. So Dad was quite excited when he found that out. Watched 4 episodes of Chad on the advice of the boys, and it is weird. Very weird. Enjoyable, though. Certainly one of the oddest little shows I've watched. Very gutsy. Turning back to the Australian Open.
Oh, no. So you said you weren't going to talk about it anymore, Dad.
If there's ever been a more complete champion than Ash Barty, I've yet to see them. She's matured into Australia's best sportsperson by a long way. Let's enjoy her, even if she's got a slight drinking problem. Haha.
I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jake's face.
Good callback.
2022 has started with 2 killer podcast, boys. Well done. 5 awesome tennis champions out of 5. Peace out.
Interesting. Thank you, PAPK. It sounds like the short sabbatical that we had over Christmas break, not only beneficial to us, but clearly beneficial to our listeners.
We do have one more review.
We do have one more review from our international correspondent, Christian Reese, the Animal Chin. We missed you last week, mate. We were...
Yeah. He's very apologetic this week, which we'll get into, but never do it again.
Yeah. Look, there's a reason for everything, but this one might be unforgivable if you ever do it again, mate. But the Animal Chin writes, boys, sorry for missing a week, but the best swell in 3 months happened to align with my birthday week and the Billabong Pipe Pro, so I channeled with my inner Jake and Tom and went ham, pretty much drinking all the tequila between here and Mexico. Hell yeah, dude. I mean, that's a fucking very good reason.
Does he get any cooler?
Pipeline Pro, tequila.
After Jordan just sucked him off for 10 minutes straight last week, he's like, I'm going to lean into I'm the coolest guy in the world bit.
Yeah. And he is. In our world, mate, you are.
Kelly Slater just won some surfing champion. That was Animal Chin.
Yeah. Does he have an animal for a chin? Do you think that's what he meant? Do you think he has an animal chin, or do you think he's got some sort of animal for a chin?
I think he means he's got such a good chin on him, he's like a beast. Like you can't knock him out.
Pretty much drank all the tequila between here and Mexico. I was cutting fucking shapes at my birthday dinner and just had a real bang-up week. This guy sounds ochre.
Yeah.
The way he speaks.
I reckon it's us.
Probably,
I
yeah.
put some into him.
So stoked.
Oh, you don't say stoked, Animal Chin. You're from San Clemente, dog.
So
I'm not claiming we invented stoked, but...
Come on, mate. Come on. Show some patriotism.
Yeah.
But he's affiliated with a podcast more than he is his own vernacular, so that's fine.
Or his own children, so happy with that.
So stoked to hear this week's episode with Daddy's Graham, and glad to know my fandom is well received. 10 out of 10 smoked pap alpha male comments. Keep up the good work. Would recommend TAC. P.S. I definitely had a comment typed out last week, but may have been too hungover to remember to hit send. You know what? It's just the gift that keeps on giving.
I'm going to forgive that.
The gift that keeps on giving.
There is one excuse that I would accept for you not leaving a review for a week, and it's you being hungover from smashing tequila.
I'm fucked.
Yeah. Look, it's the reason we haven't done episodes before, so we would be hypocrites if we were to get upset.
100%. Yeah. We're not going to call you. I mean, we did call you out last week, but we're not going to call you out again.
I'd be genuinely upset if he just disappeared off the face of the earth.
I'd launch a full-scale investigation.
I'd just start commenting on the YouTube videos going, TAC, another rep, bruh.
Yeah.
You're still here?
Tack.
Yeah.
Tack.
Yeah, so you don't get to stop listening, Tack, okay?
No.
Know that.
But it seems that for every one person that showers us with applause, adoration, and I made this mistake last week by saying it's always good to humble yourself. Sometimes there's such a thing as being humbled a little bit too much.
Oh my God.
Tom in a hope of promoting the show, trying to get the good word of OTAT out there, posted on the Triple J subreddit. You might have seen a clip a couple of weeks ago of us doing an impersonation of Triple J. I'll be the first to admit, not a very original bit.
Not our finest hour.
Oh, I mean, it was fun while we were doing it, and that's the whole reason. Don't really care about the quality as long as we have fun, which isn't a good motto for a show.
Look, we don't give a shit.
No,
we give a fuck, but we don't give a shit.
Yes,
is that fair to say? I don't really care what goes out. That's not true. I do. But sometimes you have to build the OTAT audience one by one by one. We go around, we collect POTATers, and we go, oh, Louis Throw fan page over here. Maybe I'll post an episode over there.
Yep.
Oh, what happens there? Video clocked 900 views. Okay, maybe this works.
Only by someone searching for a particular type of show do we get one of our number one fans, which is what Christian Reese became.
Oh my God, look what happens. Alaskan Bush people. How many Louis Theroux fans watched that? How many of the 900 people who have watched the Louis Theroux video from posting on the Louis Theroux subreddit now listen every single week?
Probably one.
I'd say as far as a conversion rate for marketing, it's low.
Yes.
But it's free.
Yes.
So I thought, hey, let's post this to the Triple J community pages. People who are interested in Triple J will appreciate this content.
Yeah.
But it is us flaming Triple J, the whole concept of it, their listeners and their presenters.
And because of the tone we took, I think a lot of people were like, oh, they're insulting Floodlights, they're insulting Amyl and the Sniffers. It's like, no, we actually like those bands.
Yeah. So the video was posted to the Triple J subreddit. It's got about 20,000 odd members.
And sorry, you go on.
I was just going to say it's clocked up 109 upvotes. So that sounds positive to me.
They don't count downvotes.
They don't count downvotes, and they don't count the 28 comments that are just lighting us up.
Yes, and I always thought the worst thing someone can say to you when you ask for something is no. Turns out it's not the worst thing someone can say.
There's a few worse things. So we've got 28 comments in total, making waves on the Triple J community, the Australian indie music community this week. Top comment is just edgy stuff.
Good sarcasm.
Good. Just a little bit of context. This is a bit that you've seen a lot of other TikTokers. You've seen people roast Triple J presenters in the past. This isn't our most original bit.
No.
It's a broad bit.
But we had fun with it.
But we had a lot of fun with it. Shit content. That's from Petrie Core.
That's a compliment.
Shit content with a thumbs up emoji.
A thumbs up emoji.
There's at least 10,000 more opportunities to roast 2BH. That's from Big and Delicious. Harry himself says, I'm all about a good roast, but this impersonation ain't even close to Ebony.
Were we impersonating Ebony specifically, or just
Ebony Wadu?
Or were we just? I think you might have said that, but I was just going with the
idea of a presenter.
the compound of
Hey,
all the presenters we've had.
we don't need to defend ourselves.
We don't. Go fuck yourself,
These
Jake.
are some little fucking Triple J cucks. These people still listen to that thing. But then someone did come into bat for us, responded to that guy and said, shut up.
I think he got downvoted a fair bit. He got buried in downvotes.
Anyone defending us got pounded.
I think someone who
into the earth.
said good just got downvoted like 50 times.
Someone else said, every single Triple J host ever, but directly targets Ebony. It's like, fuck off. Okay. You're missing the point. Another good one is imitating Triple J presenters has got to be the most unoriginal, unfunny thing ever. It's been done to death.
You know what? Knock jokes are pretty unoriginal too. Still fucking funny.
You still throw them out of the barbecue. Your dad loves a knock joke.
It's funny when I always pictured us getting like the first like group of strangers commenting and giving like not objective but like stuff that's like opinions that aren't filtered through knowing us for a certain amount of time. If you are one of those 99% of our fans who do know us personally,
I'd say we've got a strong community of people who might have met us once, twice.
Yeah.
Or not met us at all.
My point is that as much as I really do appreciate everyone who does listen to the show, who comments on the show, but you do get this this different feeling when it's a group of people who don't know you.
Yeah.
And
it's no holds barred.
And when I visualized it first happening, like when we were starting out, like I was nervous, like, oh, I don't know what people are going to think of my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, am I going to get roasted? Am I going to get doxxed or whatever?
Yeah.
Don't really care at all. Don't care.
We don't care so much that we read them out and spend 30 minutes doing it on the podcast.
By the way, I've said it before, this is the most egomaniacal content. Talking about posting a clip from our own talking about on our show, a clip from our show that we posted on a forum to promote our show.
It's Inception.
We are...
We're within our own egos, within our own egos.
We're a bunch of narcississies.
The last one, we'll cap it off at this because it's quite good. Yawn in bold and capitals.
Okay.
They really let anything pass as comedy and get uploaded to YouTube, huh? Guess they couldn't make it. Guess they couldn't make the cut for community TV.
Are you getting choked up? Community TV.
I was like, yeah, good roast. Okay, not bad. What's the angle with they really let anything pass as comedy and get uploaded to YouTube? You can upload anything to YouTube, bruh.
Correct. It's about
they do literally let anything be uploaded to YouTube.
It's about keeping it up, okay? It's not about getting it up.
Yeah. It's about how you use it, not the size of it.
You ever used Viagra before?
Idiot.
I'm more impressed that he was able to write that whilst mid yawn, almost falling asleep. That's something. Well done, mate.
I'm impressed he was able to write it while jerking off over our content. It's quite impressive.
Clearly he wasn't. He was jerking off over his own comment, roasting our comment.
Community TV. They couldn't make the cut for community TV. What year is this guy living in?
And
doesn't know how YouTube works and thinks community TV is the be all and end all.
We are the free platform that goes against, or kind of with, but against television at the same time, okay? There's the big dog over there on television. We're over here, the battlers on our free platform.
grinding away.
Giving the people what they don't want.
And if you can't get that, if you don't know that that's what OTAT's all about, then maybe you need to listen to a few more episodes, bruh.
Maybe we just need to shake our hands and go our separate ways so you can go home and like all of our videos and subscribe.
Yeah. Haven't had a single further Instagram follower or fan from the Triple J subreddit page, I will say that. I think we may have actually been blocked by a lot of people. So, look, as far as marketing goes, if you've got a small business out there, maybe you're selling skincare. Let's change it up. Maybe you're selling beer. Don't go and promote your beer on an Alcoholics Anonymous page. Are you following me?
Yeah.
Don't promote your product on a page that directly conflicts with the thing that you're talking about.
I'm with you.
So not that clear, but I think I'm making sense.
So you think because we basically insulted Triple J and then posted it in a fan page for Triple J or a subreddit, that we opened ourselves up with crosshairs on our back?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There's no other way that was going to go.
I think if we made an original point, it might
Maybe we would have got a laugh out of it.
It's pretty good. It's not bad.
Yeah. Let's put it down to as one commenter put it, the butthurt tosses. It's all just butthurt tosses. We're right and they're wrong. We could take the Kurt Coleman effect where we just go, everyone who hates me is a fucking hater.
Yep.
And just delve further and further inwards until we're in our own echo chamber of love.
Until we just
no one else can get in.
Pure God complex.
Yeah. Listening to no outside noise.
You know what? Any attention's good attention when you're in the showbiz, baby. So
press is good press, baby. Hey, we got haters.
we made it.
We got haters,
We fucking
dog.
made it, dude.
We got some lovers and we got a lot of haters.
Can't wait for the comments to get more heinous.
If you're a potato and you want to support the boys, go to the Triple J subreddit and show us some love. Respond directly to someone who said something rude about us and tell them how it really is.
Start a cyber war.
Or just go there and hang more shit on us. That would also be good content.
Yeah, just any traction we can get would be fine.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is we don't care. And we clearly don't, given the time we've spent on it.
No. If anything, we're going to say goodbye to these strangers.
Okay.
Opposite of what the title of the show that we watched is called, Hello Stranger, which is a show showing on ABC Iview. It looks like it's a couple of years old. It might be 2016 or 2017.
But old ABC.
Hello Stranger on, as I said, ABC Iview. Hello Stranger is a contemporary snapshot of the people of Australia. We talk to people in the street and follow one story home. It turns out that we are more complex, remarkable, and much stranger than you've ever imagined.
Okay.
Bullshit.
Don't buy it.
Don't write a blurb as if you've spontaneously found someone on the street. Let's not start insulting the show from the get-go. What did you think of Hello Stranger, Tom?
Well, let's lay out some context first of how the show actually works.
Yeah, because that didn't give any... What is it with bios? What's the deal with bios and not really giving you anything you want to buy?
Oh, Jerry.
Come on, guys.
What's the deal with airplane food? It's not planes and it's not food.
But Rachel, I want to watch Hello Stranger.
You're right. Bios written usually by ABC writers are some of the worst in the world.
And SBS.
And SBS, you're right. It's not just conducive to ABC.
I get that it's meant to be like an elevator pitch of like bang, full view. Like this is just the glossary or the bio of the show. Very short summary. Do better.
Well, that's what it should be.
Do better.
A good bio can make or break a show, Jacob. You know that.
Yep.
Look at our bio.
Brilliant.
I don't remember what it is, but I reckon it makes or breaks the show.
When you don't even remember your own mission and values, that's good.
Yeah, it's I think it's throw your Netflix subscription in the bin. Each week at OTAT shows you why free-to-air television is the purest form, is the purest art on the market, something like that.
Well,
is the purest and cheapest thrill on the market.
I mean, I will say that the subscriptions to Netflix has nosedived in the past couple of years. Is that due to the fact of our podcast that may or may not influence people to quit Netflix and go to free-to-air content? Maybe.
Yes.
Or is it a pure coincidence?
No.
No.
Not a pure coincidence.
No.
Direct correlation.
So we've got the first part done where people have gotten rid of their Netflix. Moving on to free-to-air television. Will come eventually.
We digress.
We do digress.
The concept of ABC's Hello Stranger, each episode starts with a camera crew going out to a random street in Australia and interviewing 50, 100, maybe 150 people in front of a little black screen. They ask some questions. What are you addicted to? What do I know? What do I know about you without knowing you?
Have you ever wronged anyone?
Kind of like a Humans of New York style, go up to a stranger and have a deep conversation sort of format. They have these conversations. We see a lot of one-off answers from a bunch of different people. And then, so the show tells us, they pick one of those strangers and they follow them home and tell their story through 20-minute docos. The reason we call bullshit on that being the format is the first episode is Kurt Coleman.
Kurt Coleman. If you don't know the name, you'd know the face.
If you don't know the name, you know the face. For the uninitiated, if you don't know his face, Kurt Coleman is a Gold Coast-based influencer. Got his fame, fuck knows when I was in like year 9. He's just kind of a
influencer.
Leave Britney alone, like that kind of era came out of like YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah, he's just someone who clearly blew up for his obsession with vanity. Vanity
himself.
A god complex for sure.
Yeah. Not particularly funny, not particularly talented.
And probably going viral because of what the title of this episode is, The Darkest Spray Tan on the Gold Coast.
Yeah. So just to bring it back to why the whole concept of the show is bullshit and we've been lied to, is you don't just come across Kurt Coleman in the street, pick him up for an interview, put him in front of a black screen, ask him some questions, and then go, oh yeah, you're our subject for the next 3 months of shooting. You have that lined up. Don't try to fool us with, we just picked one out of the bunch and this was the best one.
Oh, spontaneity.
Now
that I'm thinking about it, that guy probably marches up and down Cavill Avenue looking for a camera. So maybe it happened for them spontaneously, but for him, this was a calculated.
Good point. Good point. But then, I mean, the fucked up thing is when we start the show, like I said, we have about 50 different interviews and you get a little bit of insight into regular everyday people off the street.
Short little vox plops.
And they're all real. All those little vox pops are real. One woman has I was way more interested in this one woman who gave like a haunting recollection of her life. She was like, oh, I've had a really shitty life. I had a tough childhood and then I've spent the rest of my life trying to be kind and good to people. And then the interviewers kind of dig a little bit more and ask about why her life was so tough. And I don't really want to go into what it is.
You know what? Watch the show and you'll find those details. Watch the show,
but she had an awful life.
Grim.
Really interesting story. And then she gives a really deep introspective answer that hits you in the feels. And then it cuts to Kurt Coleman right after her going, I just love me. And of the 50 of the bunch, they chose, Kurt Coleman over the woman who just made you feel a whole range of emotions.
Correct.
In 10 seconds.
There's someone who could give you a profound, because her advice, we're not going to tell you what happened to her, but it's pretty dark. But some of the things she says were very profound, and you could go, yeah, I would love to hear what this woman has to say.
Way more interesting.
Absolutely. Or you could listen to the guy who his first line out of his mouth is, my number one talent is me and my face. That's how self-involved he is.
Let's spend 20 minutes watching an episode on him. The 18-year-old from the Gold Coast with the darkest spray tan.
Kurt, what's your profession? I'm professional at being myself.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I don't know why this show exists. Okay, so the concept of the show I don't hate, like, a real life character study. Real life people are interesting.
Much like our Reddit post, that doesn't bother me at all. It's not very original.
Not very original.
But
ironic coming from us.
There is very ironic. That's very much preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
There is potential there. Like the idea of a show where you go interview just a random stranger, or you interview 50 subjects, you pick one who seems interesting, and then you're able to get an insight into not only their life and how they conduct it, and how they reflect, but how that could impact us and how we might choose to, conduct ourselves.
I'd watch that.
For sure.
I'd
If it was
watch that
done
if it
properly.
was good.
If it was done properly, yeah.
Great, okay concept.
Solid concept.
Solid concept, bad execution.
Correct.
I would say the main downfall of the execution is just the subject in Kurt Coleman is one of the most shallow, dumb,
Vapid
people that you could spend 20 minutes watching on screen.
Absolutely. They're very short episodes, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I think
if it was a minute longer, I would have killed myself.
I think we got about 70% of the way through the episode, and they just got to the point where they were giving him, he was in a spray tan salon talking about how much he loves tans and being the darkest person at the Gold Coast. It's like, how is this? There's no talk about him growing up being bullied. Like, I'm sure he was bullied horrendously as a kid, but like every line that comes out of his mouth is just, I'm Teflon. I'm indestructible because I love myself that much. I don't give a fuck what anyone else says, which in its own way, I kind of has to be admired to having such pure ignorance to people and not willing to reflect it all.
Head in the sand.
But how is that? How are you? The whole point of the show is for strangers to be teaching lessons.
Yeah. I learned nothing.
No.
No learnings come from zero self-awareness.
The only lesson it's given me is that I trust people from the Gold Coast even less.
Yeah. Can't believe you're still sitting in a room with me.
Yeah. Yikes that you and him are from the same town.
I know. It's a lot. I was telling Jake while we were watching this, when I was in film school, reached out to Kurt Coleman because we had a doco class, and I was like, who would be a good get? Just someone a little bit famous, and we could do a piece on like fame. And I basically had this in mind.
You could have had a show on ABC.
I basically have a show on ABC.
Someone's fucking plagiarized your first year uni assessment.
I either have a show on ABC or I'm about to sue the ABC for stealing my idea. I reached out to Kurt, and it was honestly just the same concept. Though. I was like, I'll talk to him about fame and what it's like. Because what's happened is I'm digressing, but he has 188,000 followers on Instagram.
200,000 on Facebook.
200,000 on Facebook. So ABC producers go, there must be something there. He's got an audience, so he's engaging people. There must be something that we can uncover.
Exactly the same thing his manager said.
Yeah, he's not famous for no reason. Yeah, they get onto his manager, and he's like, he says the same thing. He's like, he tries to make him sound deep. But if I was to do that piece when I reached out to him, I would have come into the same problem that this does, where there is nothing there.
You would have gone in circles.
You try to get deep with him. You try to ask him anything, and he's just like, no offense, but dumb. Just dumb as dog shit. And it's not an act. Like,
it's not even dumb, probably. But I think what his problem is that when there's a camera in the room, there's no, and it's almost impressive that he just doesn't let his focus drop. Like he knows that the camera's there and it's filming him. So all he's going to do is talk about himself, promote himself, pump himself up, and not talk about anything else.
Yeah.
Because he
lives and dies by the ego.
He's not going to show you any side of vulnerability.
No.
He'll talk about vulnerability and be like, yeah, I always get harassed online and blah, blah, blah. But he's not going to talk about, I'm sure there's been points in his life when he's been depressed or, just fucking bummed out from how much he gets rinsed online. But maybe he doesn't. But either way, there's no arc to this story.
Well, I think dumb is a bad word, but I'd say he's very emotionally unintelligent with zero self-awareness. So
that's a good way to put it.
He's got no ability to talk about his feelings. So all you get is the shield up of, I'm hot. People who don't like me are dumb.
They're haters.
People just hate me because they're jealous. When I reached out to Kurt, small flex, he did respond. He actually went, yeah, let's do it.
Was it him or was it his manager?
I reached out personally.
Okay.
He responded. He was like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, sweet, let's tee up a time. And then he ghosted me. Tom got ghosted by Kurt Coleman.
Yikes. What could have been, honestly?
What could have been? I could have had this shitty 20-minute episode to submit to Griffith Film School to hang my hat on.
And like, I mean, we wish there was more to dive in and give you some, you know, a better analysis of what this show is. But literally, it's 20 minutes of him saying the dumbest, most self-absorbed shit you've ever heard. Like, there's one point you can tell, like, the interviewers, I think they're at their tail end, and they're just like, all right, well, who are you closest to in life?
Yeah.
And he's like, who am I closest to in life? Probably myself. What? It's not what we're asking, mate.
They're doing their best. Like, the journos are like, fuck, what can we ask the man to get through to him? Who are you closest to? Such a simple question. Myself.
This is like early onset delusions of grandeur and schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Like, so who inspired you the most? Myself. Who are you closest to in life? Me. So what do you do for fun? Look at myself in the mirror. Okay. We have a crazy person.
There's not a single shot of him hanging out with family or friends.
Nope.
I think
no friends.
I honestly do feel sorry for him. Like, he would say he's just jealous because he doesn't have 200K followers. But like, the man does not have friends.
The highlight of his year is going to schoolies and being like a semi-celebrity down there.
Yeah, getting a few like 18-year-olds come up and ask for photos because they follow him on Instagram.
Oh, how about that bloke at the very start?
That was the cringiest thing ever. Talk us through that, Jacob.
Yeah, let me just find it real quick.
I can basically remember.
Oh,
it.
yeah. So like this guy comes up, he's like, Kurt Coleman, can we get a photo, man?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, of course. He's like, Kurt Coleman, amazing videos, and then winks at the camera and then winks at Kurt, and he's like, and Kurt's like giggles. He's like, they are amazing videos, and he's like, yeah, keep telling yourself that, mate.
Yeah. A troll comes up to him because he comes up originally and he seems like a fan getting a photo, and then the journo who's running the show, the director, goes, oh, why do you like Kurt? And he just starts fucking sarcastically roasting him.
He's like, oh, amazing videos.
Yeah. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
And Kurt's like, they are amazing. And he's like,
Sure they are, pal.
yeah, winking at him. Yeah, they're cool.
Keep telling yourself that, bro.
So uncomfortable. And like, there's an opportunity to delve into like, oh, okay, that was a real life hater. Like, should we ask Kurt about that? And they kind of just brush over it.
What a fuckwit of a hater, though. He's going up and like, I hate this guy. I'm going to take a photo with him,
Yeah, real knob shit.
Can't believe I'm siding with Kurt Coleman.
It's like the lowest, it's the smallest amount of fame that can go to someone's head. He's on the Gold Coast, an influencer with not over 200K followers, and he makes money by like brand endorsements, but he thinks he is top of the world. Going to the Hunger Games Mockingjay premiere
at fucking Gold Coast Cineplex.
Yeah.
Like the
Narang Cineplex, like $8.50 tickets. Rolling out the fucking beige carpet. Kurt Coleman, same color as his spray tan.
Yeah, faded lipstick carpet.
Yeah, dude. And he gets a photo like by himself. That was a sad thing to watch as well. Everyone's getting photos with their partners, like whether it's someone from the film or someone famous, and then Kurt just gets on the thing and gets a photo by himself.
Yeah.
But it's because he would not have someone with him to steal the spotlight off him.
No. And
he needs to be on his own.
And the dumbest thing about it is that his manager, he has a manager for his 180K followers on Instagram.
Wild.
But he has a manager that looks like and not to knock the guy, but he looks like someone who was once in a B-grade boy band and just is still living in his glory days. He's a 40-year-old bloke who wears leather snapbacks and deep V-necks.
Yeah. That's
all you need to know. And him and Kurt are talking about like paparazzi and getting photoed by the public and all this stuff. And he's like, and 2 minutes before they were just like, it's cool. Like it is cool getting this sort of attention. We need to utilize it. We need to talk about how I'm like the face of schoolies and blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, oh, it's just so draining. Like it's such a pain having to deal with these people. It's like, hang on a minute. Literally a minute ago, you were saying my number one goal in life is to be famous. And I said this to you during it. It's like paparazzi and being followed and being getting obsessed and watched like a hawk is a byproduct of being famous for a reason, whether you're a superstar, musician,
an actor,
a celebrity, an athlete, whatever the case may be. Yes, for them, it is annoying. Tobey Maguire, Leonardo DiCaprio probably hate it.
Yeah.
But if your goal is to be famous, you can't say you hate the attention.
No.
That's the whole reason you're there.
We touched on it in the 90s Viper Room episode.
Mhm.
Fame should be an annoying byproduct of being immensely talented. You should be a really good singer, and then fame comes with that and you hate it. Kurt is chasing the byproducts of those. Kurt is chasing the byproducts, but as the whole thing.
He wants
as a
to
career.
buy the byproduct.
But then wants to complain about it as well and go, they came up to me and paparazzi.
You can't have it both ways. You can't be desperate for attention and then in the same breath go, ugh, attention. Oh, I wish this would. It feels like a Chris Lilly character.
It honestly feels like a Chris Lilly character.
It feels like, is it Mr. G?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I was saying, for anyone who's been around for Australia's Sexiest Tradie for that long, Buddy in that, almost like a David Brent as well, someone who chases fame, really wants to be famous, but isn't particularly talented. This Kurt Coleman is the real life version of that character, except they got fame. And now they have it and have no idea what to do with it and no idea what talent to apply. Like, he doesn't know why he's famous. His manager says to him before they go to the Mockingjay Hunger Games premiere, what are you going to say if a journalist comes up to you and asks like what you're up to and what you're working on? He just goes, I'm just going to talk about like me and whatever. It's like, okay, so you do nothing. You have nothing to offer. What do you say when people are like, why are you famous? You're like, I'm
perfect.
I'm perfect. It's like, okay. It's honestly sad because like this show was in, I think it was around 2015.
Yeah, 2016.
He was 18 when they filmed this, and God, I don't follow Kurt Coleman on Instagram, but like, are you gonna be doing this at 40?
Well, I just had a look at his followers. So what is he? He was at 188K at the time of the show.
Yeah.
He's at 106 now. So he's at 80K people drop off, like completely unsubscribe to him.
Well, people grow up.
Yep.
Like all those schoolies who are running up to him grow up, and you're not getting through to a new generation of young kids who are going, oh, this Kurt Coleman guy.
He's also probably not doing anything groundbreaking to innovate.
Holy shit, that's a big drop off.
And yeah, you kind of like, I don't even kind of roll my eyes at him, but also just, as he said, feel kind of sad for him.
Yeah. It sucks. I feel sad for him. I was saying this during the show, like, yeah, I feel sad for him because he's not intelligent and he hasn't been thrust into this. He did it himself, but he's just kind of floundering around and doesn't know what he's doing with himself. I'm more concerned with the manager, and like, it just gives an insight into this industry in general. Like, there's a manager of Kurt Coleman.
There's money somewhere in it.
Yeah, like someone's booking that guy's movie premieres. Like, this guy's just
birthday parties, whatever.
Yeah, like, I don't want to. He may not be a parasite. I don't want to go down the stereotype of that like, oh, the evil manager. Maybe he cares about him and he does need someone to manage his shit. But like, why is there an industry for people who don't have any talent, just with managers and producers? And like, Kurt Coleman's a small fry, but like, there's versions of him with, millions of followers.
Like your Nelk Boys of the world and whatever the case.
Don't know who that is, but yeah.
You don't want to.
Okay.
So safe to say a subject as interesting as the show itself.
I would say so.
Well, as interesting as the concept of the show, because I guess the subject makes the show.
Yeah.
We did do our due diligence to watch another episode to see if it actually went anywhere. Don't want to go into it.
I know. There's
I thought that was like, nah, cut it here.
We can touch very briefly on it. We watched a second episode.
Just as a measuring stick, just to see if the show was actually garbage.
Yeah, if it could be good if it wasn't following Kurt.
Basically just the show's called, or this episode's called My Next Score on Hello Stranger. It just follows sports gamers.
Yeah, particularly one who they pick off the street at the start. And it falls into the same fucking trap. It's just a boring subject.
Yeah.
The guy they're interviewing is just a fucking cardboard box and he's got nothing to really offer.
No, he's an introverted gamer.
He's an introverted gamer. And that can be made really interesting. Have you seen Indie Game the movie?
No.
Dude, one of the best docos I've ever watched.
Indie gamer?
Indie Game the movie.
Okay.
It goes into indie game developers and like what they have to sacrifice in life to like get a game from nothing to on the market.
Your Fruit Ninjas of the world.
Yeah, your Fruit Ninjas of the world.
Shout out Half Brick.
Shout out Half Brick, Brizzy based.
Brizzy boys and girls.
Can be an interesting subject if you have 3 hours, or well, you know, probably 2 hours to flesh it out, multiple subjects, and each of those subjects being more interesting. You can't do much in 20 minutes with a guy who's introverted, who you found off the street, and is a gamer.
I mean, like, it sucks because to wrap it up, this show has potential, or had potential, and I'm sure if we went into one of the other episodes, they probably have a more in-depth person or someone who can actually, you know, capture the attention of the viewer for more than, you know, 3 seconds. We picked the one with like the darkest spray tan in the Gold Coast and a gamer. So like, there's not a lot you can go on there, but just from like the start of the episode where they're interviewing 20 different subjects, asking them all the same questions, and you've got people going, yeah, I was an addict. I stole off my parents. I stole off my sister. But I've been, one bloke, he was like, yeah, no, I was addicted to heroin my whole life. I stole from my parents, stole from my sister. But yeah, now I'm 13 years sober. Well, clean, not sober. Like, you're a fucking legend. Like, I want to see this guy's life. He's like, oh, I'm bloody clean, but I'm not sober. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I relapsed, but it was clean heroin. It was good stuff. I'm not sober.
I think he was saying that he's like, he drinks beer.
Yeah, okay.
But he doesn't stick things in his arms anymore.
I'm with you. See, like, that's what finding strangers on a street can be good for. Like, good one-liners, finding characters who are good over, like, you know, snappy, quick dialogue. Yep. There was that, like, African-American guy who was like, I like white. Oh, they were like, oh, what are you addicted to? And he's like, ladies. He's like, ladies. White ladies.
Could you imagine? And he's Sudanese, so he's got quite dark skin, but he's just like, he's like, ladies, could you imagine combining that skin with this skin? Imagine what we could do.
Yeah, this little charming 18-year-old Sudanese
this little African dude. Yeah.
So like, that's about all meeting a stranger on the street is good for, I think. I don't think you can just, are you going to stumble across the next interesting documentary subjects? Maybe, but probably not.
Not unless you're willing to entertain the people who had something against the grain to say, or something that was, you know, a really interesting but maybe adverse-stricken path.
Yeah. And I mean, it's interesting because all those people who were talking about who seemed far more interesting subjects, you know, the heroin addict or the woman with the really tortured past, if they went and did a 20-minute doc on them, it'd probably be really dark. It would be filming them at their regular everyday home life, which that's a concept you can go down if you really want to explore and do like a deep character study.
Yeah.
But it'd probably be a 20-minute long chat with them, just like really getting into the weeds. But they want to make the show about this guy's a gamer. We have to film him going to gaming, e-gaming,
ESL.
Concerts. What's ESL?
Electronic Sports League.
Yeah, so like going to stadiums to play that. We want to film Kurt Coleman going to schoolies and getting photos. So you got to pick what kind of show you make, I think.
But is it better to hear a really depressing or sad or tragic story and actually feel something than something that's boring
and white and just fucking washes over you like a shitty bubble bath?
Oh, that sounds disgusting, but also kind of want to try it.
Let's go get some bubbles, Jacob.
Let's go down a chai tie.
Oh, yeah. So what would you rate Hello Stranger out of 10?
Out of 10 or 5? 10?
10.
10? I would probably rate Hello Stranger... just a fart. No. 3 really shitty fake 10s out of 10.
3.
That
was going to be mine.
The 3... It gets 3 because the concept was good to begin with as far as what they were trying to achieve. As you said, execution, piss poor.
Yeah. I'd almost go back. I'd almost go through this whole series and just watch the first 5 minutes, which is all the random interviews on the street.
Sure.
Like, I probably won't do that, but that was the most interesting part of the show.
May as well, because you know the best thing about ABC? No commercials.
No ads, baby. ABC Iview.
What would you rate the show, Thomas?
I would probably give it, 3 is probably a fair score. I'd give it 3 anemic, malnourished, elite sport gamers out of 10.
They were very video pasty gamers. And emaciated, weren't they?
Yeah, but that comes with the territory, doesn't it?
Emaciated, pasty, impastyated, pasty, macy.
Pastiated.
Pastiated?
Yeah.
All right.
Fuck, give me some. You're not happy with that.
There's something there, but it's
You're
just
throwing words at me that don't go together.
You know what? I can see there's one piece of the jigsaw puzzle left. It's just not fitting in any way that I want.
Okay.
You can. That was it. Fit when you put it in. I just don't like the puzzle.
Okay. Look, sleep on it. I want you to go away and I want you to think really hard on it.
All right.
And then next, no, not now. Not. I was going to say, come back.
Just fall asleep on the microphone.
Oh, we really slept on it. Is that us?
That's it, mate. If you have made it this far into this week of On the Air Tonight, we would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for joining us this week and listening to our nonsense once again. Episode 52.
3.
Is it 53?
Yeah, dog.
We're climbing up the ranks.
Who's lost an episode?
We are on the front page of Triple J Subreddit.
Oh, yeah.
Making waves. But yeah, we do genuinely thank you so much for joining us on the air tonight, whether you're a new fan or an old fan.
A lot of new fans this week from the Triple J Subreddit page, I reckon.
Yeah.
A lot of new fans.
And I've gotten a lot of call-outs in the past week of people going, oh, so do you remember when we said that bit of like, yeah, no, day oneers mean as much to us, or no, new fans mean as much to us as day oneers.
Oh, no.
We've got a lot of people go, is that what I fucking am to you, eh? I've supported you guys since you didn't even know how to press record properly.
Yeah.
When Jacob was smashing wine glasses in Tom's apartment.
Some cunt comes in the shiny new studio, listening to episode 53. Lights are on. We've got cameras. We've got YouTube. They mean as much? That is rude of you, dude. You should apologize.
No. Never.
Okay.
I will never apologize, but I would like to say thank you again. There's 3 times now. I'm not going to say it one more time, but I will. Thank you. That's 4 times.
Thank you.
For joining us this week on the air tonight. If you do like our content, share it with a mate. Share it with a coworker, mum, dad, dog, whoever. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like all of our videos. Comment on them if you want to get involved in the content. Follow us on Instagram to keep up to date with everything OTAT.
Bye-bye.